Hey everyone.
Hi.
I'm Paul.
I'm Amanda.
And you're listening to the secret podcast of Laura Palmer.
Yeah.
And today we're doing something a little bit different. We're going to do a deep dive into, well, I don't know how deep, but we're going to do a dive into Industrial Symphony No. 1, which is the 1990 stage play from David Lynch.
Another thing is we chose to do this one because it's related to Wild at Heart.
We had discussed in the previous podcast how the book ended differently than the movie did. And in the book, Sailor actually leaves Lula. So I feel like this stage play is kind of like Lula's dream after being broken up with Sailor.
Yeah, it's like an alternate ending to, Wild at Heart in a way, kind of, as a musical.
Yeah. It feels like it's a tribute to Barry Gifford's novel, is a tribute to Julee Cruise's vocals, it's a tribute to Angelo Badalamenti's music, and then apparently David Lynch got the inspiration for the name from some mosaics that he created, some art in Philadelphia.
From the Philadelphia Academy of Fine Arts, the Pennsylvania Academy of Fine Arts in Philadelphia.
Right.
And he made a series of quote-unquote complex mosaics in geometric shapes, which he called industrial symphonies.
So that's where that comes from.
Yeah.
So this is a lesser-known thing that David Lynch put out. In
I
fact,
had no idea about it.
You didn't know about it? Yeah, a lot of people don't. Like, in fact, the first time I ever saw it, I think it was back in high school, and another David Lynch fan gave me a DVD-R ripped copy of it. But if you guys are curious and want to see it, it's on YouTube. It was originally released on CBS VHS back in 1990. There were 2 performances of the stage play that were ever done.
Which one did we see?
I think it might have been a combination of both.
Oh, because it is edited. That's true.
Yeah. So there were only 2 of those, but there was a release, and then later on, it was also in Laserdisc in 1991. For any Laserdisc fans out there,
for wall art. That's all it is now.
Yeah. Heavy movies. So anyway, yeah. So and then actually, in the 2000s, at some point, I want to say the late 2000s, there was some kind of David Lynch collection called the Green Collection or something. I'm not familiar with it, but it's also featured on DVD there as well. But we watched just the shitty VHS quality one on YouTube.
On YouTube. Thanks, YouTube.
Yeah, thanks, YouTube. I mean, I have the DVD-R, I think, still sitting around here somewhere, but I mean, YouTube was just more accessible.
Yeah.
But from what I remember, what I saw on the DVD and what we saw on YouTube was the exact same thing. I originally had some stuff written down for Recap Corner. I don't know where I wrote that, so...
I definitely wanted to add, I know we already touched upon it, but, the Skype thing, it was cutting out whenever Seth was talking and when we were talking, so that's why it kind of sounds a little bit edited.
Yeah. It was definitely edited. But, Skype, whatever. We do appreciate Seth being on with us, and we apologize that it cut out early, but, I mean... You guys got the gist of everything we were talking about. You probably missed the last 5 minutes where we're just shooting the shit. So
yeah, we're cut out, but
yeah. So don't worry about that. You didn't miss much. So this is a runtime of 50 minutes, 50, not 15. And the cast includes Laura Dern
as the heartbroken woman.
Yes, Nicolas Cage
as the heartbreaker.
Julee Cruise
as the dream self of the heartbroken woman.
Michael J. Anderson
as Woodsman / Twin A.
Yeah.
And then there's some other people. There's some bit players that just kind of stand around in the
There's
scene and,
trapeze artists and radioactive guys or something.
Yeah, there's a chick climbing in a tower. There's some workers that are working on people.
Strippers or something.
There's the can Vegas dancers too.
Yeah,
I don't
so
know
there's a
their
lot of
names.
different things going on, but
there's a tall skinned deer by John Bell. John Bell was the the clarinet soloist is Andre Badalamenti.
Oh.
So not Angelo, but I guess his
some family member.
I hope so. Or a weird coincidence.
Yeah, no, it's gotta be some relation.
Oh, and it does say snare drummers Warwick Bright, Chris Johnson, backup singers Anne Fink, Sarah Napier. Oh, mechanics is what they're called, the people who are working on things. The video team, which is the people who are videotaping Julee Cruise, I'm assuming, and the chorus girls is what he calls them. So those are the cast, not the actual names, but what they're called. Yeah, so we can cut that out.
No, I mean, that's all good information to have, because a lot of those people don't get credit. I mean, I went to the Wikipedia and there was only like 5 names listed.
Also, it says female dancer is Lisa Giobbi, Giobbi, and the male dancer is Felix Blaska.
Okay.
So there's those people too. I'm glad they credited them, I mean, there's not really many people on stage anyway, so it wouldn't be hard.
There's a lot going on stage, but not too many people.
They didn't credit the babies.
Yeah, what about the babies?
What about the babies? What about Babe?
What about Babe? Yeah.
Okay, scene 1 is the video, not the video, but Laura Dern and Nicolas Cage. It goes back and forth between them, and they're on the phone.
Yeah, so it opens up, and it's like, they just have black backgrounds behind them, and they're each on the phone, and this is Sailor, essentially, even though he's not called Sailor in this.
Yeah.
Breaks up with Lula.
Yeah, they, and actually, Michael J. Anderson repeats their dialogue in the play further on. Mm-hmm. But basically, he's like, I can't do this anymore. It's like, it ain't nothing wrong with you. It's just us I can't handle. Yeah. I love that. Cause
that's from the book.
I love
and I think they took excerpts from both the movie and the book. Like the part where he's gonna leave her in the movie, and then what actually happens in the book is kind of, I think, intertwined. Mm-hmm. So, that happens, and then, so who is Pinky? Because I wrote down, they make a mention of Pinky, and I wrote down Pinky's Dream, because it reminded me of that song that David Lynch did with Karen O.
Yeah.
Crazy Clown Time.
I just have who's Pinky, because I'm just like, I actually don't know, I think, is the thing.
There's some mention of Pinky, so either way, wherever Pinky's Dream came from in Crazy Clown Time, it might originate from Industrial Symphony No. 1.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know, because I've never put that connection before.
And I think that's the first mention of Pinky.
Because there's one of the songs is called Pinky's Bubble Egg.
Yes.
And so that's kind of so
strange.
Pinky is a character in David Lynch's universe, kind of like
Billy Corgan's Glass
is a character in his universe. Yeah, exactly.
I get it.
So Sailor breaks up with her. It's really sad.
It is sad because
no, it is sad, but it's also just it's cheesy at the same time, I guess. A little bit.
Totally, but yeah. I mean, isn't love cheesy? I mean, really, if you think about it,
it's very much kind of like Laura Dern whenever she was doing Blue Velvet, and she was like, "Where is my dream?" It kind of had that feel to it, where she's on the phone and crying, and
it's just over the top, kind of. But actually, this isn't too over the top. Their conversation isn't over the top. It's kind of stilted, honestly. It's kind of like, just like da 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 da.
Yeah, it's a lot of back and forth of him just being like, "Nah, I'm out," and she's like, "Please, baby, no."
But it sounds like, it sounds like bad acting. I don't want to say that exactly, but it's just like, oh, you can't do this. No, babe, I gotta go. That's what I mean by stilted. It doesn't sound really as emotional as it could be. Right. But I'm just really critical, so.
But I also think this is just one of those things where it's like, I mean, if anything, because it was such a small release, it's probably just Nick Cage and Laura Dern being like, yeah, we'll jump into this for a day.
Yeah, one take or something.
Yeah, we're not gonna spend a lot of time on it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so they're both having this close-up phone conversation off stage, it seems.
And she tells him not to go. She doesn't want him to do it. He said, can't do it no more. And he has to go.
She's desperate, yeah.
She loves him, though. I mean...
Yeah, she's brokenhearted.
Yes. And she's having a dream. And then she has a dream, and Happiness and Slavery comes on.
Yeah, I wrote down black screen, then Industrial Nine Inch Nails concert opening.
Happiness!
Because it's got flashes of strobe lights, and it's foggy.
Industrial props. It looks like you're in a fucking junkyard from an industrial warehouse area, kind of weird tower, like metallic, like tower-looking thing.
Yeah,
anyway.
There's a lot of different
broken down cars.
They have like broken down car.
Oh, the car is
like
from
like an oil rig. Oh,
that's what it looks like. Yeah.
Sorry, what?
The car isn't that the car from the book?
Yeah, so in the book, they didn't drive in a convertible. I believe that the car in Industrial Symphony is supposed to mimic the car from the book.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And because they were driving like an older style car, I think one of the Barry Gifford novel covers actually has like a very similar car on it that you can see.
Oh.
So
the car is where they spend a lot of their time. It's about their journey.
I mean, it's a road trip movie essentially.
Mm-hmm. It's like Thelma and Louise.
Kind of.
And they all die. Spoiler alert.
So I don't know. Like, there's like Nine Inch Nails happening because there's also like percussion, like boom, stuff happening.
It's almost like the Eraserhead sort of like just industrial. It's like the David Lynch typical industrial sort of sounds. You know, just very startling and they make me feel like emotions. You know, like just like whoa, what is this? Like tense sort of stuff.
I feel like David Lynch and Angelo Badalamenti at this point were probably listening to like a lot of like Pretty Hate Machine and maybe like Depeche Mode.
Maybe Depeche Mode.
I can hear like some Depeche Mode in there.
I heard, actually, I'm not sure if this is true, but I heard that not David Lynch, but Trent Reznor wanted to work with David Lynch, and it took him forever for David Lynch to get on board with that. And finally,
really?
like, he, lost tie with.
Well, I mean, maybe David Lynch, because I mean, he did know David Bowie, so it was like maybe through Bowie he kind of like heard through the grapevine, like, yeah, Trent's kind of a mess right now. Like, let's let him like level out a little bit.
I do a lot of drugs. There's this little blurb, this little paragraph about the film on the city of absurdity.
City of what?
Absurdity.com.
Absurdity?
Absurdity. Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you. Okay. It's it says Lynch presented this musical spectacle about, as he puts it, quote unquote, sound effects and music and ... happening on the stage, and it has something to do with a relationship ending, unquote. And it says at the Brooklyn Academy of Music as a part of the New Music America Festival on November 10th, 1989. The festival was founded in the early 80s by David Byrne and Laurie Anderson.
I like both of them.
I liked them too. Laurie Anderson was married to Lou Reed.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't
He
know
just
that.
passed away, right?
Walk
on the Wild Side.
Yeah.
That's him. Yeah, that was
Okay.
Yeah, they were married.
I didn't know he passed away.
I didn't know she was bisexual, or I thought she was a lesbian.
Oh, really?
I don't know, maybe.
I don't know. Everyone in like the 80s though had like that boy haircut.
And the androgyny.
That was like the look.
And also bisexual. I mean, like, I'm bisexual, so I mean, you can't just like tell by looking at people. Yeah, that's true. I'm pansexual. Let's just call it that.
Let's just call it that. Anyway, so yeah, all that stuff's happening on stage. And I was like, cue detective theme from Twin Peaks. The boom, 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 boom.
The bass line.
Yeah, and then I wrote, and that fucking vintage ambulance siren / horn.
Oh yeah, it's like.
Because it sounds like some kind of like old, like, I don't know if it's like it's like a match between like a slowed down like vintage ambulance and like, I don't know, like a Fallout siren.
Like the Ghostbusters car.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Kind of going back to the car they had in Blue Velvet.
It's the 50s sort of feel.
Hold me.
Hold me.
Hold me, I'm falling.
Hold me, I'm falling.
So then,
That's my dream.
So spotlight on Julee Cruise, and then she's about to sing, and we see that she's wearing like, I assume it's a wig.
Yeah, with her short blonde like platinum.
Yeah, it's like a
hair.
White, pretty much.
Yeah.
So yeah, platinum white.
Platinum. It's short. She's wearing like a 50s like type of dress that kind of comes out.
She's wearing a white dress and has like lots of tulle. Like that's that material, that kind of meshy material.
Spell it?
Tulle.
I've never heard of this.
Yeah.
Oh.
If you watched Project Runway, you would know all about tulle.
I watched it like the first or second season.
Basically, if you put too much tulle on something, you're definitely out.
I feel the same.
But anyway, she's wearing just the right amount of tulle. It actually looks really cute.
Yeah.
And she's got like bright red lipstick.
And she looks great. She's got dark eyeliner on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty dark.
Yeah, she looks gorgeous.
She's gorgeous.
Voice is gorgeous.
Of course. And this new song is Up in Flames.
Up in Flames.
Should we like read the lyrics, or should we just?
I can read an excerpt.
They're super short.
Yeah, so I think it's interesting that the opening lyric is "I fell for you, baby, like a bomb."
But she's also floating.
Yeah,
So it's like
she's hanging from like wires, like floating around while the spotlight's on her. But I fell for you, baby, like a bomb, and then I think of like the Fallout siren kind of happening in the background, and then also like the atom bomb in Eraserhead and The Return.
Yeah, very smart.
Yeah,
I like
so I don't know.
And my love's gone up in flames.
Yeah, we're history, baby. Read it in a book.
Ended in the fire that started with the look. She's got the look.
Yeah, she says my head's full of smoke, which makes sense because the stage is like totally covered in like dry ice.
Yeah, it's Vape Nation.
Yeah, it's Vape Nation. Totally Vape Nation. So many people with popcorn lung that walked out of there.
Yeah. Or whatever with
vitamin E acetate.
Yeah. Well, speaking of, I'll just hit that vape real quick.
There you go.
And then Hearts Full of Pain.
Tender love is gone up in flames.
You should have shot me, baby. And then the snare drum is like da da da.
Love it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's actually really great.
Good job, Angelo.
My life is done. You could have shot me, baby. Shot me with a gun. I hear those sirens scream my name. I know my love's gone up in flames.
And the sirens, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it totally makes sense.
Yeah. So that's like kind of the initial reaction to the breakup, and having this dream is like just complete like wreckage and destruction.
Dude, that's what breakups are. It's sad. It's fucking just breaking.
Yeah, it just sucks.
It does suck.
So while all this is kind of going on, there's like a topless woman who's like writhing around on like a trapeze or something.
She's like on a
what is she on?
She was like on a tower. She's like climbing this like oil rig type looking tower.
Yeah.
And just
going back to what you were saying earlier, there are all these different industrial things, and an oil rig was one of them in addition to the car. And then there's like the electrical telephone wires, like the telephone pole and the electrical wires that
like the fence in Jurassic Park.
Yeah. So anyway, like there's all these different things, but yeah, the topless woman is like on top of
just climbing around, kind of like
industrial tower is.
Yeah, I think it's an oil rig looking thing.
Yeah.
Let's just call it that.
Yeah, I'm not well versed in
like oil tower.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either.
I'm sure. It's
kind of sad because we're in Oklahoma and there's like oil rigs everywhere and we just don't know what they're called.
I don't know.
We just know it's raping the earth. What?
Yeah.
And so she's like writhing around like sexy, topless, tits out.
Yeah.
And then there's also a guy on floating in on the wires, and he's just kind of like flipping around.
Yeah, he's doing like full like gyro mechanics or whatever, like just flipping around all crazy. It's really cool looking. And
it's during the outro, I think, of the song.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And there's like slow motion edits too.
Yeah.
And then there's like a montage of bodies.
Like the guy, I don't know if there's multiple guys, but the way he's dressed, the one that's floating around and doing spins, I wrote like he's dressed kind of like a fatherly Ray Wise type. He kind of looks like Laura Palmer, or Leland Palmer's, like just the way he's dressed. I don't know.
What was he wearing again?
God, I wish I could tell you. It's like just trousers and like, I don't know, like a sweater vest or something. But it just seemed like something that Leland would have wore. And there are parallels because, Michael J. Anderson plays Woodsman, which the
music itself.
Yeah, and they're actually using music from Twin Peaks.
Or vice versa, I'm sure. I'm sure this was written first.
Yeah.
Maybe.
In fact, Up in Flames didn't even show up on a Julee Cruise album until her second one in 1993.
Up in Flames, that song was in Wild at Heart. So when they're at the bar, and then there's like a lady singing this song, Up in Flames.
Okay.
And I think I want to say it's like the bar where they meet the guy who's like, yeah, but I'm not sure. It could be a different bar, but definitely.
I remember that. I know what you're talking about now,
It's definitely in Wild
So the
at
song
Heart.
was definitely written by 1989-90.
Oh, and they're also written by Badalamenti and Lynch.
Yes. Yeah. So.
I don't know if Julie wrote any of them.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah.
But either way, this Up in Flames didn't show up until... I mean, it was in David Lynch stuff, but I mean, it wasn't on any of her albums until 93.
Interesting.
So it came out like a bit later.
I like it, though.
For her.
I like the one from Wild at Heart. I like that lady's voice a lot better than for this song.
It's very sultry.
Yeah.
Yeah. And whereas she's more angelic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The song is guttural and like visceral and shit, and she's more like, the world is pretty.
Yeah, yeah.
Her voice is pretty.
Yeah.
And so I have, while this song is still going on.
And it goes on forever. That's why I'm like, that fucking siren.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like, forever. To the point that, like, I don't want to put this on and watch it because I know that siren's going to come on. That's how much it annoys me. It's like nails on a fucking chalkboard.
It's definitely not, like, pleasant. I mean, but is this supposed to be pleasant? But while the song is going on, the woman in the tower just starts, like, shaking violently. And then she starts, like, slithering back down the tower. And then that guy is still just floating in the air.
Yeah.
And the edits are kind of all over the place. Because it's, like, not just, like, a recording of the play. Like, it's actually, like...
Yeah, it's, like, on stage. Like,
also,
close-ups. And, yeah, they cut from different camera angles and all that stuff.
Right, yeah, exactly.
And then there's one thing I noted, which I think happens along this time, where there's, like, the woman's legs going back and forth out the back of the car window.
Yeah.
So, like, the back window is, like, bashed out, and there you just see, like, a woman's legs, like, just, like, kind of, like, going back and forth.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because now she's out of the tower, and she's, like, in the car.
So it's her. It's the same woman?
It's the same woman that was in the tower that she, like, goes into the car, and her legs are just, like, kicking out of there. Right. And then she, like, presses her face against the car window, like, from the inside, and the strobe lights are going off, pyrotechnics are happening. And then there's, like, a motor revving sound. Yeah,
I wrote, quick shot of guys starting up lawnmowers. Because they're kind of doing that that revving thing that you do whenever you start a lawnmower.
Right, yeah. Maybe they're mowing. And then she's, like, so she goes into the car. And now she's back on top of the car. And, like, I actually have written down, it's like, well... We're back on the car again. And then I have, at least we're out of the tower. # Jurassic Park.
Oh, yeah, I love that.
Sorry, I love Jurassic Park.
No, that's a good,
to catch or whatever.
Yeah. We're back in the car again. We're back out of the tower.
At least we're out of the tree.
I wrote, I hope no one in the audience took acid before seeing this because I'd be freaking out.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's kind of terrifying.
It's terrifying, yeah. Because I could imagine me like, let's go see a David Lynch play. Like, let's, like, get fucked up. And then you get there and you're like,
let's not do this. Yeah. Like, that's so scary.
Crawling on the floor.
Too spooky for me.
And then I believe we transition into the second song, with Julee Cruise.
I Float Alone.
I Float Alone. And this is where we get, like, kind of her against the electrical wires.
Which reminded me of Jurassic Park. Like, the fence that
to me, they reminded me of, like, music, like the, what is it?
Like a staff.
Yeah, like a staff for musical notes.
I see that,
I saw that a little bit.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I was just, like, obviously really into that song. Do you have the lyrics on that one?
I do. And it starts with, like, these cool horns.
Yeah.
And
I like the song a lot more than Up in Flames.
There's a lot of I like Up in Flames.
If I'm gonna like judge them, like, this one, like, cause I think it's because the siren's gone.
Like, this is so good because you guys ruined the first one. So the lyrics are, floating through this darkness, all alone. Love is gone in darkness, cold as stone. Searching through the shadows you have known. Love's gone, bare as a bone. Trying to hold the memory face, you seem to have vanished without a trace. And in this darkness, this empty space, I float alone. Now the night is falling, you have gone. Sad dreams blow through the dark trees. Love is gone wrong. Love's gone wrong. Sorry. Clouds of sadness raining all night long. Love's gone. The end of our song. I float alone, I float alone. So
pretty straightforward.
Yeah, the lyrics are super short.
More about being sad.
It's more about the music too. It's good shit.
Well, yeah, I love the saxophone that they used in it.
It's very like stark in contrast to the song.
Mm-hmm. And there's like a musical tension actually that reminds me of David Bowie. Like there was kind of like discordance in the piano.
Yeah.
And the way that was kind of presented. It kind of reminded me of Bowie's more like kind of like crazy pieces, like, from like One Outside or something like that.
Totally, I hear that for sure, yeah. And I like that sort of stuff because it triggers emotion. It's good songwriting,
Yeah.
That's what it's supposed to do.
And so while this song's going along, I wrote the original arm, but Michael J. Anderson, aka Woodsman, is like sawing into a log, like just back and forth.
Yeah, it's really, he just like...
And there's even like this weird camera shot, like, where it's like the saw's coming directly at the screen or towards the viewer, and I'm just like, were they thinking about making this a 3D movie at some point? Because it totally felt like one of those like cheap 3D effects they would have back in like, the 80s, where it's like, whoa, there's something coming at you.
Wow. With the glasses and whatever.
I also noticed that there's the saw has the number 113 on it.
I did not see that. So 113, that's 5.
That's 5.
Okay.
So
interesting.
And
I also have the...
Since everything in this is symbolic, we might as well find out the numerology for that. The number 5 usually indicates someone who is full of energy but unable to channel it responsibly.
I relate.
This number brings adaptability. Adaptability, independence of thought and action, and an unwillingness to completely conform.
Whoa. Interesting.
Interesting. So, that was on the saw.
So it shows shows the saw, and it goes into ethereal wishing.
Yeah.
And Michael J. Anderson. So that reminded me of the whole like at the sound of sawing wood from Twin Peaks.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Also Lumberton.
Right. Well, yeah. Lumberton is the sound of sawing wood.
No, the sound of sawing wood is what Jacques says whenever they want to meet. The sound of sawing wood in Twin Peaks.
Well, they say it also in Blue Velvet. The disc jockey on the radio does.
He does? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
I didn't remember that.
Yeah, I didn't know they said it in both of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then also I said David Lynch respects wood.
He sure does.
Do you respect wood?
Yeah, so I think we forgot to mention Michael J. Anderson played the arm in Twin Peaks. He was the little person who did the dance in the Black Lodge.
Yes.
So that's who this person is that we're talking about right now.
And he's sawing for a long time. It's just him sawing.
Yeah.
Is this while the song is going on too? Or
I believe
like after?
So. It's a little bit of both, because there's like a lot of like transitionary periods between the songs, but there's still like music happening and...
Yeah, I mean there's music happening throughout, whether it be just industrial sounds or like the actual songs. There's shit going on. And then... I think it
Actually, it's funny that you mentioned that, because I wrote, who cares how fucking long a scene is?
Who cares? Who gives a fuck? No.
Or whatever the quote is from The Return. I don't know.
I want that on a shirt.
Yeah, right.
I need that on a shirt. And then there's like a guy with a flashlight who's looking at a car for the Kelley Blue Book value estimation. And he looks like, he kind of looks like Kyle MacLachlan from Blue Velvet with a flashlight, like looking around, like...
Yeah, I was wondering, is that the same guy who was doing the floating earlier? Like the floating in circles?
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
He shines the flashlight on Michael J. Anderson and he runs away.
Yeah.
And then my MJ Anderson is carrying a light bulb on a string, like his pet light bulb.
Yeah,
it's like
and it's kind of like
him.
on a makeshift skateboard, like just a piece of wood. Like, not a wagon, but just like a piece of wood, which I'm sure David Lynch made himself.
Yeah.
He respects wood.
He respects wood. He's sawing wood, man. He's got to sell those logs.
So yeah, he's got like a light bulb on a makeshift skateboard. And then there's that weird like slight slow motion effect that was very popular in like the early 90s.
Oh yeah.
Like kind of like the X-Files opening theme,
Yeah.
like where it's like I don't know, just the way it looks.
Yeah, it's just like slow motion with lights and kind of like
it's just like a camcorder effect.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And then I think after that, there's like a quick mix. I have mixed in quotes because it like doesn't mix. Like it clashes.
Oh, okay.
Like the DJ needs to be fired. It clashes so much. And it goes into the next song, which is Into the Night.
Yes, I love Into the Night.
And it says Now It's Dark.
Yes.
Now It's Dark.
Just like Blue Velvet.
Just like Blue Velvet.
Yeah, so we get Now It's Dark. And
she's still floating. She's
floating, and like there's this like, I mean, it's an amazing song. If you've heard the album, I think it's called Floating Into the Night, whatever her first album is, which a lot of these songs are on, but that one's definitely like one of the dreamiest, and I love that song. I love it. I think it's one of the best songs on her album and in the stage play. And if it was it on Twin Peaks? It may have been as well.
I'm fairly certain it was like either on like a radio or just like a quick. I mean, it was It was either in Fire Walk with Me or Twin Peaks. It's definitely in another movie.
It's got to be in one of them.
Yeah.
Because I recognized it like pretty quickly.
And there's cool, like the cool chord progression. Like Badalamenti has these really cool chord progressions. Like,
oh yeah.
You expect the song to go, to one note or one chord, and then it does something completely different than what you expect.
Which is totally Lynchian at the same time. It's going in directions that you just never see. Never see coming.
The dynamic duo.
They really are.
I like it.
And Julie's like loving every minute of this, and it truly shows in the play. Like, this play is like absolutely crazy, but she's totally selling it and making me more of a believer in this piece as a whole.
Yeah, for sure.
Because even though it's something it's not like some Lynch things I can watch over and over and over. This is not one of them, but I still appreciate it.
Totally, yeah.
And I think Julee Cruise does an amazing job really like selling it.
Because she's really into it. And she looks like, she's really acting and stuff, and she's beautiful, great. Her voice is great. I'm not sure if this was done live or if she's.
Well, a lot of those songs were already recorded, and they used that. I think there was only like maybe one song on there, maybe possibly two, where she sings like that's not the recording, even though it may have been a recording.
I don't see a I didn't see a microphone, so I'm sure it was just lip synced, which is fine. She fucking sung it anyway.
She did a great job. So.
Yeah. So now it starts. She's floating in the air. I have she's like only moving her like limbs like awkwardly. I think she has like her legs just like planted together, just like straight. And she's like kind of doing she just looks really stoic kind of ish.
Yeah. And then boom.
Yeah.
Followed by ethereal whooshing.
Yeah, industrial whooshing.
And that's
music
when we get
stops.
Yeah, and that's when we get like that devil, like the devil on the gurney.
Not yet, because she falls to the ground. So the music stops. She falls.
Okay.
And then you see these people, like these workers, like
they're like
pick her up.
Okay.
And put her on a stretcher, and like this is all going on in the background, kind of like by the car. It's like it's kind of far away from the front of the stage.
Are these the glowing airport directors?
Yeah.
That's how I described it. I was like, they look like the guys like who have like the little like flash things that like direct airplanes into the port.
I think so, because they have like flashlights and stuff, and they're just like magical flashlights that heal bodies or something. And then all of a sudden you see like her body in the stretcher like turns red, and you're like, what is this?
Yeah.
Like it's just kind of going on in the background, and I have a sexy red room type of song starts happening.
It's like hardcore jazz.
Yeah, I would say like the fucking Pink Room kind of shit.
Oh, okay.
I think, isn't that right?
I remember it being like more like less like Pink Room and more like hardcore in your face, like aggressive burlesque.
Yeah.
And like crazy saxophones and stuff like that.
That's kind of the Pink Room song. Oh no, the Pink Room song.
That one's more like guitar driven. Like yeah.
That's a good song. But yeah. No, so what does that remind me of? Like Audrey's Dance kind of ish?
Sorry, I had to do that.
The bass line. Oh, I love that song. It's so fucking good. It's like one of my favorite.
Okay, wait, go back. Where are we?
So that red room, or that song starts happening, and then all of a sudden a giant skinless deer with elongated legs emerges from the stretcher.
Yeah, I thought it was more of like a devil.
It says it's called the what is it? And when I go to the cast and crew, it's called the tall-skinned deer.
The tall-skinned deer. Okay. I guess I just thought of it because of like how the antlers are associated with Satan or whatever.
Sure.
So.
Like what are those? There's like a type of monster that's called that, like a mythical monster. It's like starts with an L.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. That's why it's all on the tip of my tongue, and that's what I was more thinking of.
Because it was in The Witcher 3. Because you fight these. It starts with an L. Lichen.
Baphomet, I think. I'm thinking of like the
Behemoth or whatever.
Baphomet or whatever.
Baphomet, yeah.
Because of the horns.
Yeah, those are more like goat
But
horns.
those are more like Aries type ones.
No, I'm thinking of the, it's called I'm pretty sure it's called a lichen or lichen, whatever.
I'm just joking.
I am you
missed that joke.
Aries devil.
Okay.
Man. I'm not that bad.
No, I'm totally kidding.
Pretty cool sometimes.
I'm totally
I can be
kidding.
a cunt sometimes,
I'm
okay?
totally kidding.
And so, yeah, there's that weird, like, it's called the tall skinless deer. But
Okay, that's definitely what it is. I mean, it was hard to see with all the flashing and the lights and the fog and crazy airport directors and I don't know. So yeah, like that's what it was. But it was spooky nonetheless.
It's creepy. Yeah.
So it's like, did she transform into this?
It appears so.
That's how I kind of interpreted it.
I did too, and like Michael Janderson is shining the flashlight onto it. There's a bunch of like those like slow down edits, the slow mode edits that happen, and it's just kind of like running in place, like for a second, for some reason.
Yeah.
And then the music stops, and that's and then there's like this low synth pad and smoke is everywhere, and then there's like a voiceover while a naked lady runs across the stage.
Topless woman runs in slow mo.
And then I'm like, is that Kyle MacLachlan?
Well, the quote, there's like a voiceover kind of like from someone off stage, and it sounds like Kyle MacLachlan. Because I wrote Kyle because it says, in a faraway world in Pinky's bubble egg, things changed.
Okay, I don't have the quote written down.
Yeah, in a faraway world in Pinky's bubble egg, things changed, and I just wrote Kyle.
It sounds like Kyle.
So I think it may have been him.
Nice, thanks, Kyle. He's uncredited, if so, though.
Yeah,
maybe it was David Lynch because he has that kind of. A little bit of that voice sometimes.
I didn't get that from it.
I think we would have noticed.
Because that would have been like, in a faraway world in Pinky's bubble egg, things change.
Portland, Oregon! So Pinky's Bubble Egg is a song, because we still don't know who Pinky is.
Who is Pinky? That's the question.
Pinky? That should be like the thing, the title of
the
podcast.
Good call. Who is Pinky?
So... Yeah, that's in a faraway world, blah, blah, blah. And then...
2 in the pinky, 1 in the stinky.
Ow.
Sorry, I had to. I couldn't help myself.
I think that's a good one.
Okay,
I'm glad you did that. I was going to high-five you, but then it would like a loud clap into the microphone. Yeah. I high-five a lot. And so Pinky's Bubble Egg comes on.
Where I left off is after the skinless reindeer or whatever, Julie gets put in the back of the car trunk.
Yeah, so the workmen come out while the song is playing, and is she singing this?
I think so.
Because there's lyrics.
Well, yeah.
But she's like dead.
Or is anybody? There are not lyrics though.
Well, okay, so for Pinky's Bubble Egg, these are the lyrics that are written on this lynchnet.com. So it says, the quote, in the far away world of Pinky's Bubble Egg, things changed.
That's what I see, yeah.
And then it says, I know one thing, I wasn't alone. I could hear you, I wasn't alone. I could hear you coming closer, Pinky's Bubble Egg. Repeats in the dead hunger. Darkness my heart was stuffed in a trunk. Beating like hell, Saturn fell rolling. The twins spoke. I think is that spoken by Michael Janderson, maybe?
It might be.
Let me see.
Because he plays Twin A.
He does play... Okay, so hold on. Okay, so the
Aside
workmen...
from Woodsman.
So Pinky's Bubble Egg, that quote comes on, Pinky's Bubble Egg. Workmen come out and put Julee Cruise instead of Julee Cruise's body in the back of the car. Even though it was implied that she turned into the skinless meat monster deer, though. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was just a temporary thing.
She morphed, she just split. It's her tulpa.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. It's a tulpa.
It's a tulpa.
That's my answer for everything in Twin Peaks. It's a tulpa.
It's a tulpa. And then, so she's still looking at, we're still looking at the back of the car while it's a song, I have song talk. So somebody's speaking it.
Yeah.
Is going on. And then when it says the twin spoke, that's when the music stops. And there's whooshing noises. Clarinet guy and Michael J. Anderson march onto stage.
Yeah, like Michael J. Anderson and the clarinet player come out, and he's like, that's when he's like, I'd like to tell you about a sad dream, and he starts going into his monologue.
Yeah.
And then he basically just repeats the conversation that Sailor and Lula had earlier.
At the beginning.
Please no, I got a baby,
Gotta go. GTG man.
Yeah.
BRB. BBL.
But yeah, or before Michael J. Anderson comes out, that the guys, those airport guys, that's what I'm going to call them, put Julie in the back of the trunk as if she's dead.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there's a girl writhing in agony in the background.
It goes long and hard and feels like a long psychedelic trip that won't end quick enough.
Oh, yeah. So that's a note that I was going to get to. Yeah, it goes long and hard and feels like a long psychedelic trip that won't end quick enough. I think I was also really stoned when I watched this. So between like the siren and then the scene, I was just like, time is going by so slow.
Datura. It is like a Datura trip.
There's no sense of time on Datura.
Datura trip. So, okay, yeah, the music stops, whooshing noise, more ethereal whooshing, and then the Badalamenti, who plays the clarinet, not Angelo, but Andre.
Right.
And Michael J. Fox come out
Michael J. Fox.
to a brush snare drum, like a marching snare drum, and it's like a jazz snare. And Michael J. Fox speaks in a southern accent. He's telling that story in a southern accent.
Yeah. Just us I can't handle.
Let me tell you about a story.
Yeah. I'm saying goodbye.
Leah did about Jack and Diane.
Please. And then I love when he actually just like literally says the words click.
Click.
At the end of it, as if like, we don't need a sound effect of a phone. We just hear please. And then he goes click.
I know, and there's like sound effects all over, but you couldn't just put the fucking sound effect for a phone hanging up in it. Come on, guys. Come on.
No, we got to verbalize the word click.
And while he's talking, that guy's playing a clarinet. Just like little riffs on the clarinet, and the snare drum's going, and then there's a shot of like a woman dancing next to them, and she's just like touching herself like sexually, like the girl on the top of the car in Blue Velvet, just like dancing like this. Like, sorry, I'm like moving my hips back and forth while I'm touching.
Yeah, that's what my visual is. Everyone right now.
Yeah, he's into it. Sorry.
No joke.
I said yikes. His narration is pretty just yikes. Sorry.
Yeah,
it's just stilted.
It's like okay, and we already heard it in the beginning of the movie.
Oh, it doesn't need to be there.
Play,
yeah.
So
maybe
I don't need to hear Michael J. Anderson recite it.
Maybe it's because like if you're sitting down in the theater watching the play, you're not going to see that.
Oh, maybe that's possible.
Maybe
that's a good idea.
Click, snare drum hits. Why not just have the snare drum be the click, but whatever. Mm-hmm. And they walk off the stage, more ethereal wishing.
And like the same guys who put Julie in the back of the car trunk, like basically like open up the car trunk and let her bust into Rocking Back Inside My Heart. Yeah.
Which fucking Maddie and James. No, fucking Donna.
Laura Flynn Boyle.
Laura Flynn Boyle puts that on in the diner.
Yeah.
Right?
And she's like kind of like crying across like the table.
She's singing it. No, they're singing it
back.
Well, yeah,
they're singing it back. That's
what
I'm. Oh, I thought she was like crying when it happened.
I think maybe later on in the song when she realizes that James is into Maddie.
Oh no, yeah, I'm thinking of Just You and I. That's what
so. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of too. But no, she's.
That's when they're in Laura Palmer's living room with Maddie.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Rocking Back Inside My Heart is at the diner, and they're both kind of like singing it to each other a little bit.
They're just like mouthing it. It's kind of cute. I like that scene.
Yeah. So Julie is like sitting in the back of this like open car trunk singing that song, and there's also like an old like CRT tube TV or the old school TVs, and they have her like kind of like music video style like MTV, like with like a close up of her, and you can even see like back in the day whenever you try to record a TV you would see like the lines kind of going through it.
Oh yeah.
So
and it was kind of like on one of those stands that teachers would bring out to like the TV in.
It's totally the elementary school like TV that gets wheeled in from
the 90s elementary school.
90s.
Not just to say our age.
just to be clear.
We're fucking old.
Yeah. So
So should we do the Rockin' Back Inside Our Heart lyrics? We just sing it.
I think everyone's pretty familiar with that one.
Tell your heart that I'm the one.
I think it's a great song.
I want you. Rockin' back inside my heart.
And this is where like the like kind of Vegas style showgirls, or maybe like they're kind of like one-eyed Jacks hostesses or whatever,
or even from the casino in
or like
The Return.
Some kind of like casino style girls in red are kind of
like can girls ish.
They come out during the song and they're kind of contrasting these other girls who are dancing innocently in these white dresses. So you kind of have like the showgirls, and then you have like the innocent girls, I guess.
Yeah, like the 50s kind of like rocking back inside my... Anyway.
Yeah.
And then it has Julee Cruise on the TV, which... And it also shows her in the trunk. It's not just... You don't just see her the TV.
Yeah, you get all kinds of
you get
shots.
the full picture. I actually kind of... I dig that. I like it a lot.
Yeah, the only problem is that it went on, like, way too long. Because, like, when the third verse comes on, I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
No, it's just like... I wouldn't call it third verse. It would be like... Just like part D or part C.
The one where she's just like, we went outside to the park.
That's
there
like
was
very Randy
sun and a car went by. Like, it was just very like, okay.
Yeah, it was very flat and very uninteresting, and that verse goes on so fucking long. It's crazy. It doesn't need to be in there.
I wrote, whatever you want to call it, I just wrote, she dares to have that third verse.
Yeah, jeez.
And it was just kind of like unnecessary.
Yeah, it's kind of, I guess there's 2 TVs too, by the way.
Oh.
But it's very music video. And then there's the saxophone.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just totally like out of place, but it's so great.
I love it. Yeah, that's some good shit. And then
one of the lyrics is "She'll never go to Hollywood." Yeah. That moves me, and so I think it's kind of interesting they put this one in like music video style a little bit because of Hollywood, you know.
So that makes me think of Mulholland Drive. She'll never go to Hollywood.
I was thinking more like Lula because they were originally going to go to California, but got stranded in Texas.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they were like, let's go to California. That was their whole reason for getting out and getting away from her mom. Was they were going to go all the way to California. I believe so. I know it's in the book for sure.
I missed that. I didn't know where they were going. I thought they were just like driving.
No, they were going to go to California.
She'll never go.
She'll never go to Hollywood.
She should go. Fucking leave him and go to Hollywood. Come on, Laura. Come on, Lula.
I need to read like the other Barry Gifford books because I would love to see how that story plays out later on.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Because I know there is like a direct sequel to that one where it's about Sailor and Lula again.
Oh, okay.
But like as a more mature adults.
You wouldn't know if they ended up together or separately?
I think they get back together in the new book, and I assume they stay together because that would be like, unless they're just going to end it again the same way. But I don't know. I haven't seen it or read it. I mean,
it'd be like the forever fate of them is to never be together. It's so sad.
Yeah, it's sad. But the song itself, it just has like a very like kind of like little ditty doo-wop.
Yeah, and I thought it was really funny. So when the song starts, like, you know, you assume she's dead in the back of the trunk, and she just like pops out, like, surprise!
I want you rocking back inside my heart. Okay.
And then, should we read the lyrics or
no?
Can we read the lyrics of the shitty verse?
Yeah, read the shitty verse lyrics.
Okay, it's like, do you remember our picnic lunch? We both went up to the lake, and then we walked among the pines. The birds sang out a song for us. We had a fire when we came back, and your smile was beautiful. You touched my cheek, and you kissed me. At night, we went for a stroll. The wind blew in our hair. The fire made us warm. The wind blew in the waves. Out on the lake, we heard an owl in a nearby tree. Our love would last forever. Pretty much.
It just like keeps going, and they're like, "Why?" Like, I mean, I would have been okay with like maybe a little bit of that, but
yeah. Well, hey, there was the mention of an owl.
I'm just surprised that she wasn't just like, and by the way, you know, I'm on my period.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like she's just observing it, like literally everything.
Yeah, it's too literal.
Yeah.
So everything else is so like deep. This is like way too literal.
Yeah.
For everything.
Yeah.
Sorry.
At least the music.
The music's cool.
The music.
It's fun.
Reflects the tone of the lyrics because I mean it's kind of silly.
Rocking back inside my heart too.
And like the crazy saxophone part and all that stuff. So it's fun.
I love it. That's saxophone.
It's good family fun.
Sex. And so I have written down Badalamenti. He knows what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I said the outro feels like a poem tacked onto the song. It just feels
Yeah.
Like,
mm-hmm. And then those fucking sirens are back.
And then we're in Silent Hill.
Nine Inch Nails concert again.
Yeah.
Power flashes. And actually, like, the way the drums are going, like, psh, psh, I just, in my head, thought, hey, God, why are you doing this to me? Like, this is what it reminded me of.
Yeah, it's definitely, what is that fucking song? Terrible Lie.
Terrible Lie.
Terrible.
That's why I was thinking, like, he's probably, like, David Lynch was listening to Pretty Hate Machine.
I hope so.
Around this time, probably.
Just because of that story that I heard, I thought, like, he wasn't even known to him or something like that.
He had to have been. Because, I mean, Bowie and Reznor ran around the same circles, so I mean,
And in
Bowie
the 90s,
and Lynch
no.
did too.
In the late 90s, like, he wasn't really in... Because 89 is when Pretty Hate Machine came out. I don't think Reznor was really in Bowie's circle until, like, late
But I
90s.
think Bowie was aware of Reznor.
I'm sure. Because he was great. I mean, like...
I think,
he made waves.
Yeah, because, I mean, he joined him for the Downward Spiral in, like, 94.
What?
Yeah, he was part of that tour.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I remember that. Okay.
So, I mean, I don't know.
So
I'm just speculating.
No, that makes sense. I want to kind of like do more research about like why Reznor didn't work with Lynch earlier than Mulholland Drive, than Lost Highway.
Yeah.
So okay, I saw like the music stops. So there's the Silent Hill siren happening. And then like the spotlight shines out from the back of the stage, like onto the audience. And then there's like pyrotechnics, and then all of a sudden,
Floating babies.
Yeah. Like, I guess they're all dead, but they're like dolls.
Well, they're just like baby dolls.
They're like garbage pail kids.
Yeah.
Hanging from the ceiling.
Which I believe is like the same kind of image from the album cover of Julee Cruise.
It is.
Floating into the night.
It is. Well, I think it's just her.
The babies are floating.
Is it? Okay. And so...
So there's floating babies, like, coming down from wires.
But they're all fucked up. Like, faces are all black, and...
yeah, they've definitely been damaged in whatever, like, nuclear explosion is happening on stage.
I have, like, the birth of the woodsman, because they're just all dirty, and, like, that's, like...
Yeah, you had mentioned that when we watched it, actually, so I wrote it down in my notes, too.
That's interesting. And then the industrial music sounds kind of happen, and then there's, like, the girls are, like, running around for no reason. I said, like, showgirls are running around starring Kyle MacLachlan.
It all comes full circle.
And the babies and the sirens, and they're, like... This goes on for a bit.
It goes on for a bit. It's a lot to take in right before, like, the babies retreat and we go into the next song.
Yeah, so they're pulled back up to the
the babies, like, on the wires go back up.
Slowly.
Into the heavens or wherever, the hells or wherever they came from.
And then I have written down, I have no idea what this represents.
I don't either. I don't know. I mean... In
the context of the story?
Yeah, I'm like...
Because they had a baby. It wasn't like they had an abortion.
There was Pace. Yeah, their son.
So I don't know if it's like related to like the possibility of an abortion or...
Or like... the lost potential for like more babies or more kids or something.
Sure, we'll go. Yeah,
I
like that.
White trash love having kids.
Yeah.
So I can say that I'm white.
That's racist.
Actually, no, anybody can say that because it's white people.
Well, we've had privilege for so long that like it's kind of like we don't get to be offended because we've been so offensive to other races.
I know, right?
Yeah, totally. And I'm also Native American, so like I have this weird duality.
Boom.
So I'm Danish and Native American-ish, and, so it's like I identify both ways.
Yeah.
Bi.
You're trisexual.
I try.
So the babies retreat, and then that's when The World Spins starts playing.
And there's like zoom in on Julie's face on the TV, and then The World Spins. And
God, what a beautiful song. Like,
it's the best song.
It's the best song in the entire thing.
I would say it's like one of their their best songs.
Right. And isn't that the song she sings whenever Maddie dies in Twin Peaks? And
I know it's in there.
I'm so sorry, and she's on stage singing.
I think so.
Yeah. That's what I think they played. She's there, or Julee Cruise does the song in Twin Peaks.
Yep. So there's a lot of them on Twin. I think like almost all of them are in Twin Peaks, and some of the themes, like even though the song's not exactly the same name, like they sound very similar to the song, like the detective theme, like Audrey's Dance, kind of like that. They all kind of sound similar. Yeah. I know it's all the same people, of course.
Well, and it's all in the same universe.
Yeah, for sure. So Julie is back on the wire, floating in space with a spotlight on her, and I think it's just her. Like this part...
It's her, and there's actually like, I believe 3 different spotlights that are pointing to her, and they create this really cool kind of like circular effect. Like, what's the name of that graph where you have like a circle and then other circles? Like
Venn diagram?
A Venn diagram. There's like a spotlights on her that look kind of like a Venn diagram.
Oh, yeah. I didn't get that, but yeah.
And she says light and shadow change the walls, which I thought was really cool because of the way the spotlights were pointed at her.
Nice catch.
Yeah.
It also talks about Halley's Comet, and then also they mentioned Saturn in one of an earlier song, and I thought it was kind of weird that they mentioned like spacey stuff, kind of out of nowhere, like Halley's Comet's come and gone,
yeah,
or whatever. And should we do the lyrics for this? Because
I mean, they are really good.
And it's really short.
Okay, go for it.
You do it. You're better at speaking.
Okay, let me pull them
Oh,
up.
I can.
Okay. The world spins. Moving near the edge of night, dust is dancing in the space. A dog and bird are far away. The sun comes up and down each day. Light and shadows change the walls. Halley's comet has come and gone. The things I touch are made of stone, falling through this night alone. Love, don't go away. Come back this way. Come back and stay forever and ever. Please stay. And then the next verse is, dust is dancing in the space. A dog and bird are far away. The sun comes up and down each day. The river flows out to sea. And then she does the chorus again and finishes it with the world spins.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's so beautiful. This song just moves my heart.
Oh, I think I think so too. Yeah.
I love it.
And it's the music, like the way it modulates in the verse. So like it goes to a different key, kind of just keeps going up, kind of like the Laura Palmer's theme. So it's really it pulls on the strings of the heart.
It really does. Yeah.
And
so I don't know if there's a significance of 3 because I have the 3 spotlights and I also have there's 3 TV sets that show her below and they're all kind of like lined up on stage.
That's
like
right.
one on the left side, one in the center, and one on the right.
I forgot about that. Yeah, for sure. And then she gets glitter is thrown on her. Glitter is thrown on her.
Okay. And her just the entire her floating and being angelic and stuff definitely kind of reminded me of the end of Fire Walk with Me.
Yeah,
the
with
angel and the Black Lodge.
Or I would say like the end of Wild at Heart with the angel, with the witch.
Yeah.
As well. Yeah. And so.
It's actually, and it's funny that you mentioned that because the dress that Julie has on has like puffed sleeves that actually kind of remind me of Dorothy from Wizard of Oz. They're very similar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. And after that, I have she floats out top left if you're facing the stage. I'm not sure like what stage terms are called. Stage right, stage left. You know,
I think she well, from our point of view as the audience, she goes up left. Yeah, and just kind of floats out of view.
And then the curtain closes. Is it red? The curtain? You remember?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
I feel like I would have noted that.
Yeah.
I feel like it just kind of goes to black or something.
And then the credits roll to Happiness and Slavery.
Yeah, I just wrote in Nine Inch Nails' Depeche Mode back on again.
Working on the pipeline.
Yeah, construction time, Pretty Hate Machine.
Digging the ditches and slapping the bitches and burning the back of my Dragula.
And Rob Zombie. Okay, so yeah, and then roll credits. That's pretty much it for Industrial Symphony No. 1.
Definitely. I mean, it's pretty short and sweet. Just like me. I got the short thing down. It's sweet sometimes. It's the Aries in me. So yeah, that's that. On top of that.
That's that.
So fuck that shit. No, it was.
Do you have any like final takeaways or?
I'm trying to think of something.
Like, because this was I had seen this before. This was your first time. Well, you watched it twice for the purpose of this podcast, but this was your first time experiencing it as where you are in life now.
I think that for me, it's what I've noticed was like it's like a sequel or an outro to Wild at Heart, but also some sort of like intro, like introduction, sort of like tie together to both Twin Peaks and Mulholland Drive a little bit with the like I don't know, just for some reason it had like a Mulholland Drive feel to it.
Well, Mulholland Drive is like according to Lynch, it is set in the same universe as Twin Peaks because he was originally going to, when Mulholland Drive was set out to be a series originally before it was a movie. And he had written the script with Sherilyn Fenn in mind and thinking about making a Mulholland Drive TV show with Audrey.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it'd be like Audrey going to Hollywood sort of thing.
She'll never go to Hollywood. That's
it's because she got blown up in the bank. And now she's stuck in some weird time warp in the return.
Let's do it.
But we'll get there. We'll get there, folks.
We will get there. Yeah, I was going to say we'll get there.
So that was your final takeaway from it.
Sorry.
So I saw the movie like originally, or the play or whatever you want to call it, back in high school. And I just remember being pretty disinterested, but I wasn't totally like up Lynch's ass now like I am these days. So like, I mean, I definitely have more of an appreciation for it. I think that Julee's performance is incredible. And I've also like, there was a time in my 20s where her album Floating into the Night like was my bedtime music like every single night. Like it was my nighttime lullabies. And so I think having or just having listened to that album more, I'm able to appreciate the play more because I actually like kind of like knew some of the songs and the lyrics and stuff like that.
That definitely helps, and I'm glad I was exposed to some of them before I watched it. So I mean, because it's more memorable and I can actually like analyze them if I remember them. Yeah, no, it's really interesting. I mean, it's kind of like the only thing like that he's done too. It's kind of strange.
Yeah. I mean, as far as I know, he hasn't put on any other plays.
Yeah, no.
I mean, he's had like art exhibits and like the Festival of Disruption and stuff like that. But
his own personal plays like that.
Yeah. So.
I'm curious what the mosaics look like.
Yeah, I don't know. I can see if.
Okay, so we're currently looking for the shit on.
I'm not seeing it though.
I don't. Yeah, we can't find.
Wow. I mean, maybe they were just shown on like at an exhibit and that's it.
Yeah, maybe they're in the set and we didn't see it. Or
because
something.
I mean, like if this was back when he was still living in Philadelphia, then he was super young. So like, yeah, they may have just been seen by the people who came to the gallery.
Oh, interesting. I'm surprised it's not around.
I mean, he's got a lot of other stuff out there, or it could be like in one of his books. I know he has like a book with a bunch of his art pieces in it.
Maybe.
So it's possible it's in there. So that's pretty much all I got for Industrial Symphony.
Number one.
Number one.
So the outro music you just heard is by us, and we call ourselves Revenue LLC.
Heck yeah! And we actually have our first EP up on Spotify and all that good stuff now.
It's on streaming. It's on Bandcamp. It's
iTunes.
Yeah, iTunes as well. And it should be on Amazon Music at some point. Google Play. Mm-hmm. So yeah, streaming services. Check it out, and it's called Introducing ... Because it's introducing us,
our music. And so, yeah.
A 5-track EP. There's some great David Lynch samples.
Yeah, if you want to check that out.
References.
We won't tell you what they are because we want you to know. Yeah. Unless you're following our Instagram, then you probably might know.
You should know.
Speaking of, if you want to get more into the Revenue thing, at Revenue the Band is our Twitter and our Instagram. We also have a Facebook page. It's just Revenue. Okay.
All of our stuff online is Revenue the Band.
Got it. Okay. So. I'm not on Facebook, so I'm like, I don't know. And then, so if you want to check that out, and otherwise you can get in touch with us for the Secret Podcast of Laura Palmer at tspolp. That's on Twitter and Instagram. We also have an email you can reach, tspolp@gmail.com.
So the Secret Podcast of Laura Palmer is produced by Amanda J.
Created by me, Paul Medley.
Music is by Revenue LLC.
But you knew that already.
No. Girl.
And we will be back next time with more Laura Palmer goodies for you.
Yay.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Bye.